She's sectioned out in 9 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, how did I get to this? I did the same thing that I would do if we were just doing one section or if we were doing rollers. I started up here, I measured the width of the roller, right? And then I sectioned out to behind the ear to the occipital bone. And I made my first section here. Does that make sense to you guys? Can you see that good? So the first section is this quadrant right here. So that was the first one I did by measuring. Then I wrapped it up and you put the clip in, all right? Then I sectioned out the next section, which would be here, same thing. I measured my rod size and I sectioned this out. And all 9 sections. This is for a 9-section perm. This is a classic perm wrap. So I'm gonna start wrapping this perm. I'm gonna record the whole thing. I'm not gonna make you guys stay and watch the whole thing because it'll take a while. You can if you want to. I mean, I'm not telling you don't have to. But I'm recording this simultaneously, that way you can see how the whole process goes. I'm gonna do the whole head for you guys, okay? So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna take my first rod here and I'm gonna do the measuring, right? How do we measure how wide of a section we're taking? We look at what? The diameter here, correct? And we measure out how wide that perm rod's gonna be. So now I have here, I have my perm rods that just fell on the floor. I have my water. I have my end papers ready to be, I have them crunched up so they're easier to grab. I have my cotton for after I'm done wrapping. I'm actually gonna perm this mannequin's head with a real perm. And you'll see the finished product on the YouTube video later. So I'm gonna go in, I measured out my section, and I'm gonna start rolling this perm. Now the front, we're over directing. So when I say over directing, what does that mean? Let me turn this girl so you could see better. It means I am actually pulling the hair forward, right? Because if I wrap this one up this way, it's gonna land where? Behind, and she's gonna have like a slope perm head. So we don't want that. We wanna make sure we over direct this one piece. Why is this thing jiggling today? What's going on here? All right, hold on, guys. And then, as I taught you guys, you're gonna take your 2 end papers, one, put it on the end, back end, pull it up. Make sure your hair is nice and wet so we have control, right? The wetter the hair is, the more control you have, especially in the beginning when you're learning. We put our other end paper here and we have a nice little packet, right? We gently roll those ends in and start rolling the hair up. Now, when we're doing a perm on a real human, the size of the rod is determined by the length of the hair. For this mannequin, these rods are a little small. For the length that she has and the type of curl she asked me for, she really should have a little bigger rod. I'm doing this for demo purposes, so I'm gonna show you with the purple rods. Make sure you take small sections while you're doing this that you measure out. You don't wanna have too much hair in the rod or it's gonna bunch up. Remember what I told you guys too, really important when we're doing perms that you make sure your ends are nice and smooth, flattened out so we don't get what? Fish hooks, right? We also never put the comb down. Shimmy down, put the band across. So I am gonna wrap this entire mannequin and give her a perm today. That way you guys can see what that would look like if she was a real client. All right. So the most important things are when doing a perm is making sure the hair is nice and wet, making sure your tension is consistent, making sure that the ends get wrapped up so they're tucked in, otherwise you're gonna get what we call fish hooks. If you don't wrap the ends good, what happens is they'll be in like dented and crunched up. When you take the perm out, they're all gonna be crooked, and that's gonna look just horrible. And your client will be really unhappy and want a refund. So how you guys doing? Anybody, any questions, any feedback? Let me hear what you guys are up to. Nothing?
I'm doing my pin curls right now because I'm finishing my thing, and it's so hard. But like I'm trying not to get discouraged. But it's
Don't
so
get
hard.
discouraged. It is hard. It is not easy. But you guys, you know what? Remember what I always tell you. When we're new at doing anything, think of in your life when you learned to do a cartwheel, when you learned to do anything, math, science, anything you've done in your life, it is not easy. But with practice, it gets easier and easier. And you will get good at it. It's like everything else. It just takes a little practice.
Wait, so do we have to do the whole head of perm today?
What I want you to do is, it's not gonna be due today, but by the end of the week, I wanna see you wrap the whole head, yes. So by Friday, you're gonna send me a picture that you wrap the whole head with perm rods. All right?
Okay.
And guys, remember, I know it's not about perfection, it's about trying. Keep your sections really clean and do the best you can, and don't get discouraged. And you could watch these, like I said, everything's posted. You can watch them over and over and stop. I know it's not the same as doing it live. I know it's not. But we just got to do the best we can right now, right? And you guys are going to get through this. And you're going to become all amazing, amazing stylists. Every single one of you. All right.
Miss Fontaine, I have a question.
Yeah, babe, go ahead.
It's kind of off topic.
That's okay. I love
just
off
like
topic.
my
Go ahead.
power
Just
school.
Just remember, we're being recorded for YouTube, so if it's anything crazy, call me privately.
It's just about power school. It says I was absent on the 4th.
Of what, December?
No, November 4th. But I remember I was here because I posted I was here too.
All right, well, I'll check for you, because maybe sometimes wasn't doing the attendance back then, so maybe something got mixed up. So November 4th, okay. Remind me in a private message so I don't forget, okay? Do you mind?
How do I do that? Like, should I just post it?
Who is it, Kamaya talking to me? Yeah, just post it today under the homework. Be like, don't forget my attendance.
Okay.
Just so I don't forget. Okay, so we're finished up with this first section. Then I'm gonna move over to my side section. All right. I use these kind of clips, but you guys can use, the other kind might be easier for you guys because they're less cumbersome, and I'll show you what I mean. The cloth, these will probably, the butterfly clips will probably work better for you guys because like I said, they get in the way less and they will help you keep things a little neater because you could tuck kind of everything in and keep everything out of the way. So you can use the butterfly clips. That's probably what you have anyway. As my rods are falling down here. Okay. Now in the real world too, I would put picks in here. Picks are little sticks. They're like plastic coffee stirrers. And we put them in under the rod. You don't just leave the rods hanging like that. We put them in like this, all through the head. I'm just using the comb as a demo, but just so you guys get the idea, to hold them from shimmying and moving while we're doing the perm. So that is a real thing that we do, and I'll do that at the end. I don't know if I have any here. I'm gonna have to look and see what I could use. So same thing on the side. I visually took my measurement. I know this is the right size for this rod. Remember, control your comb when you're close to combing the other hair so you don't, sometimes when we go like this, it's easy to hit the other rods and knock them out. You don't want to do that. So we pull this up Now my hair's getting a little dry, so you see how it's getting dry and it's unruly. So I make sure I get that nice and saturated. Another rule of thumb, if this was a real client, let's just say she does have highlighted hair, but let's say her hair was a little dry on the ends. I would make sure that I put in a protein equalizer, some kind of leave-in conditioner to kind of equalize her ends so they don't get fried while I'm perming them, okay? Also, when we perm someone's hair, we never shampoo their head vigorously. We shampoo with a clarifying shampoo to get build up minerals and gunk out of the hair so that the perm solution could break through it. But we don't like scrub and irritate their scalp, because once we put the perm solution on, it could make their scalp burn and it could be really, really uncomfortable. So never overstimulate the scalp when you're doing a perm. Does anybody know anybody that gets perms? I know they're not really in at this time. We're in 2020. Perms are not on the forefront of the fashion world, but from what I hear in the forecast in the fashion world, they will be coming back in different realms, texture waves, body waves. People are gonna wanna have more diversified looking hairstyles as times change. People are gonna be sick and tired of just wearing their hair straight, because having curly hair does give you a little bit more flexibility to wear your hair in different styles. And it doesn't have to be an old school perm. You can make this as creative as you want. You can make it like beach waves. If I used a bigger rod, this would turn out to be more of a beach wave and a texture wave. So you guys see how I'm doing this? Hair's nice and wet. I'm taking my finger and I'm wrapping that under. I have total control. I'm doing it. What do I always say? You control the hair doesn't control you. All right, so I am gonna wrap this entire mannequin, okay? And then I'm gonna take a video and I'm gonna record, I'm actually gonna continue to record out for YouTube so you guys could see. Then I'm gonna put the cotton around her hairline and I will show you how I mix the perm and I'm gonna put it on. So like I said, if you wanna stay with me and watch, you can, or you can just catch the whole process on our private YouTube channel because it's there for you. All right?